peace is directly connected to proximity, not productivity, not income, not visibility, but proximity. And today we're talking about curated circles and controlled access. Welcome to the Simply Edit, our weekly lifestyle diary here on the Simply Luxe network. This is where we talk about living well, dressing with intention, protecting your peace, and building a life that feels good and works. I'm Stacy, founder of Simply Luxe, and this week's edit. Today is about standards and what happens when they rise. There was a time when I believed transparency meant access. If someone was in my life, they got my thoughts, my plans, my frustrations, my energy, unfiltered. But as I've grown, I've realized something. Access is a privilege, and proximity is powerful. The people closest to you, they influence your tone, your habits, your standards, your decisions. If someone constantly disrupts your peace, questions your boundaries, minimizes your growth, that's not personality. That's proximity. And proximity shapes identity. Not everyone is meant to sit front row in your life. Some people are balcony seats. Some hallway conversations, some are just memories. Curated access is not arrogance, it's alignment. Friendship refinement was uncomfortable for me because I value loyalty. I value history, but history doesn't always equal alignment. There's a difference between long-standing friendships, life-aligned friendships. As you grow, your priorities shift. You start valuing emotional maturity, mutual ambition, calm communication, shared standards. And when your standards rise, some dynamics feel different. Refinement doesn't mean dramatic exits. Sometimes it means less availability, fewer details that you share, and more emotional boundaries. You can love someone and still change your proximity. You can care about someone and still limit their access. That's growth. So let's talk professionality. Opportunity often follows proximity. Who you sit next to, who you collaborate with, and who you align with. Professional circles should expand your thinking, they should sharpen your execution, and they should elevate your standards. If every room you're in feels comfortable, then you're not refining. But if every room you're in drains you, you're just misaligned. Controlled access in professional spaces looks like strategic networking, selective collaboration, clear boundaries around your time. Not every opportunity is meant to be accepted. Some invitations are just distractions dressed as access. Refinement is knowing the difference. This one is important. There's a difference between generosity and overfunctioning. Overfunctioning looks like always initiating, always fixing, always explaining, always carrying the emotional weight. Reciprocity looks like mutual effort, mutual respect, and mutual awareness. When you start refining your circle, you notice energy imbalances faster. And instead of compensating for it, you step back. Not bitterly, not dramatically, just calmly. You allow people to meet you. And if they don't, you adjust your proximity, not your standards. Romantic proximity is even more powerful. The person you share daily life with influences your nervous system, your financial decisions, your routines, and your emotional stability. Controlled access in romance looks like protecting sacred time, not overexposing your relationship publicly, guarding your peace within that partnership. Intimacy thrives on privacy, not performance. And elevation in relationships looks like stability, respect, alignment, not chaos disguised as passion. Refined love is calm. As a leader, I had to unlearn over availability. There's this belief that being accessible 24/7 equals commitment. It does not. It equals depletion. Leadership refinement looks like structured communication, clear expectations, and delegation. Oh, did I forget to mention emotional regulation? When you're constantly available, you train people to overuse you. When you refine access, you train people to respect you. You can be supportive without being consumed. You can be present without being porous. That's controlled access. This spring, I'm not expanding everything. I am refining everything. Smaller circles, stronger conversations, more alignment. Less noise, Not everyone needs a backstage pass to your life, and not everyone needs your vulnerabilities. Not everyone needs your strategy. When your standards rise, your circle tightens. And that tightening isn't loss, it is precision. I used to think growth meant expanding outward. Now, I know it often means refining inward. Peace is directly connected to proximity. When your standards rise, then your circle tightens. That's this week's Simply Edit. If something resonated, carry it with you into the week ahead. And I'll see you right back here for the next edit.